Hi guys, I'm Joe the Multi-Boxer, and today I'll help you set up a radial menu like this one here. This is in the form of a circle, and there's buttons, and when you click one it's going to do something, and in this case it presses a button over here, and the menu goes away when you click on it, and wherever you move the mouse it's going to pop up right there, and that's sort of the point of a radial menu. So back in ISBoxer, I'll show you how to set up a radial menu. Here's how mine is set up for this demo. There's a menu template that sets up the way it looks, and the button set that sets up the behavior when you actually click on a button, and in this case it was also the text in each of the buttons. They had different text. They said 1 through 12. So on button 1 it says text is set to 1, and on button 12 text is set to 12. And you can see here on button 1 I have it set to Control M in window 2, and that's why you saw on window 2 when I clicked number 1 that the map in window 2 opened up. So here's how to set this up. You can right click on menus and select new menu and name it something. Radial menu. And you don't want to assign it to a character set or characters, because you want to set up a hotkey that's going to pop it up. I'll show you that first. So go into a key map. You can use always on if you want the hotkey to always be available, but then don't use something that you'll need to use for a different purpose at a different time. Like you wouldn't want to make it C, for example, because you want to type in chat and you want to use the C button for something other than popping up your menu. So if you're doing that, then either put it in a different key map like non-combat, or if you want the hotkey to always be available, put it in always on. So in this case, I'm going to put it in always on. Right click on mapped keys and select new mapped key, and then name the mapped key radial toggle, and click on the hotkey box and set a hotkey. In this case, I'm going to use one from my G510 keyboard, a G17 key. And then under step 1, right click on actions, and under menu actions select new menu state action. Menu state action has a bunch of different options that you can use for menus, but in this case we're going to set it to, in window current, we're going to have it load radial menu, and that's the one that we just added to the list here. So now we're going to need a menu template and a button set. And I'll show you how to set up the menu template first. It's basically going to look like this when we're done. Right click on menu templates and select new menu template. Radial menu, I'll name it. Now it defaults to grid layout style, but you want to change that to radial. And that sets it to a pop-up menu, which makes it so when you click on one of the buttons, when you activate one of the buttons, the menu is going to disappear automatically. So I'm going to set it up just like the other one to be sort of a clock with 12 buttons. Whoops. And when you set the radius, it's automatically going to adjust the frame width and height to be larger if it's too small. So I'm going to set this to 90 pixels in both directions. Button width and height, I'm going to set it to 32 by 32, and it starts out with a background color. It's black. I'm going to set that to transparent, so that's the alpha here, and set that to 0. So now it's still going to have a 1 pixel border. I'm going to go ahead and leave that on. You can remove that. You don't need that border, but I'm going to set it for this demo. I'm going to leave that there. This is where it's going to start, and since 1 o'clock on the clock is at 30 degrees, we'll type in 30 so that the 1 is placed there instead of straight up at the 12 o'clock position. So under button style, this is where you would set how you want each of the buttons to look by default if you don't override it in your button set. And it's going to start out with each of the buttons. It's going to be black, and it's going to have a white border with 1 pixel. This is going to be for each of the buttons. And so if you wanted to set a default background image, maybe you want just some picture of a button, you can right click on images and select new image. Find your button picture and open it up there, and it'll show up in the list under images, and then it'll be available in any of these drop down boxes to use as a background image for your buttons. So we've got the menu template set up, and now under Radial Menu I can select, after we switch off and switch back, then it'll save that to the list there. So under here we can pick Radial Menu. Now we need a button set, and I'll show you how to do that. To basically do exactly like this one. Right click on button sets and select new button set, name it. And now under the buttons, you can right click this and select new button, and I'm going to do this 12 times, so I'm going to have 12 buttons. Okay, so I've got 12 of those, and each of them is going to have some text. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we got 12 buttons. And now, just for fun, I'm going to make it so buttons 1 through 5, they send a different guy the instruction to mount up, so that we can just click on one of the numbers, and that's who is going to mount up. So I'm going to right click on button, and this lets you add actions to your button. Right click it and select new keystroke action, and I'll have it go to slot 1, and it'll press Alt M. Okay, and once you click off it, that updates the text. So this button is going to send Alt M to 1. We can copy that action and reuse it, so I can just paste it in each of these buttons. I've only got 5 guys, so now I just have to change the slot that it goes to on each of these. 3, 4, and 5. And now we've got under Radial Menu, we can change the button set to Radial Menu. So I've got the menu options in the template set up. I've got the button set up so that 1 through 5 make a different guy mount up. And the key map, we've got a toggle button set up to load the menu when I press G17 on my G510 keyboard. So that should all be good. I'll save and export. I'm using the hotkey Control E. And now I can pop up that menu, make all my guys jump. There we go. Alright, pop up the menu. Here's my menu, and 2. My second guy is mounted up, and I can do it again to make number 5 mount up. Come on, 5 mount up. Oh, wrong button. I was using the old menu. Okay, there we go. If I'm using the right menu, then my guys mount up when I ask them to. So that's basically how the Radial menus can be set up and used. I didn't go into a lot of detail on setting up different abilities or anything, but you can do anything you want with these menus. You can make them different sizes, different colors, different pictures, different whatever you need to set up. You can even chain these menus together so that maybe I want the other menu to pop up if I click 12. I can just use a menu action like I showed you to pop up this one, menu state action to pop up in the current menu, make it pop up my radial. So now it's sort of a nested radial menu, so it'll pop up the other one. And in order to show that, I'll change the background color of the old one to a red background. So save and export. And now if I use G17 and click on 12, that one goes away, and the old menu looks kind of like a horde sort of theme here. So I can make any of my guys press their and the old menu I press Control M in the second window. So that's exactly what happened there. So that's it. It's fully configurable, and you can do whatever you want with these radial menus. Thanks, guys.